Hey, what's going on, guys? So in this video I'm gonna build the following landing page. I built this page for a client of mine, and I left all the content here the way it is. I'm not sponsored by these guys, so the page I built had multiple other sections. In my case, now here in this video I have just one section, which is full screen, and I have this book here, animation in CSS, and this counter here, which is in JavaScript. So I just thought that this may be useful for some of you guys. That's why I decided to make a video on it. There's gonna be a link in the description from where you can grab the source code. I'm gonna write everything from scratch in case you want to follow along with me. So that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so this is my VS Code. I open it in my folder. I don't have any files, so I'm gonna create 3 files. The first one is gonna be index.html. Of course, there's gonna be another style.css and script.js. Here we go. Now in my index.html, I'm gonna have an HTML5 page here. I will say here the title, put your dreams to the test. Just leave it like that. And now I'm gonna import the style CSS file. So I'm gonna have link CSS. Here I'm gonna put style CSS, but I'll do it in the following like this. Another thing here in the body section, I want to import the JavaScript file. So I'm gonna have script source, and I'm gonna have script.js. Now we'll close it. Another thing here is I want to create a folder which is gonna be img, and I'm gonna have the images, the background image and the book, this background image and the book. So if I'm going to my GitHub right now, this is gonna be there's gonna be a link. This link is gonna be in the description. It's gonna be public by the time you will see it, but there's this img folder, so you can grab the images from here. Alright, so that's what I'm gonna do now here. Okay, so I pasted them in my img folder. This is the book here. It's a PNG file without any background, and the plane. This is the First Wright Brothers memorial, which is in Kitty Hawk. Okay, yeah, well, I have this in place. Now here in my body section, I'm gonna have the main div class, which is gonna be the background div. So I'm gonna have div class, and this is gonna be bk os. It's gonna be bkgr, just like an abbreviation. Okay, and now in this div, I'm gonna have another div class, which is gonna be the landing div. So I'm gonna have div class landing. And in this landing div class, I'm gonna have a section, and in this section I'm gonna have a div class which is gonna be the content box. And the content box I'm gonna have an h1 tag, and here I'm gonna have the title, which is gonna be put your dream to the test. And now here below I'm gonna have a subtitle line. Div class, I'll say subtitle like this, and here I'm gonna have a 4-week mastermind. Below here I'm gonna have another line, which is gonna be the 3rd line, and this is gonna be just a span. So I'm gonna have span class. Oh, not the capital letter. I mean, it works with capital too, but I don't like using them. So I have line 3 like this, and then here I'm gonna have based on the book by John C. Maxwell. Then below here I'm gonna have a p tag, and in this p tag I'm gonna have the content from the page. So I'm gonna paste it like this. Here I'm gonna have EM, which is gonna be italic style, facilitated by Tito Taller. Certified independent coach at the Jones Maxwell team. Okay, and then below this line I'm gonna have another div class. Let's see what we've got until now. So I'm gonna save it, and there's a cool extension I have on my VS Code. You probably already have it, which is the live server. So if you go to, if you don't have it, if you go to your extensions and search for live server, you'll have this extension live server. So you just have to install it and activate it. And after you did that, you go to your index.html file, and just right click on it and say click on open with live server. So this basically is going to open up a new tab, and it's going to be on your IP separate on your local machine, and you can run JavaScript and everything here as like on a normal machine. This is the demo, so I'm gonna leave it as a reference, but this is where we are working now. Okay, let's see index. Okay, next is the counter. So I'm gonna have another class, div class. This is gonna be countdown, like this, and here I'm gonna have one div class. This is gonna be time, and in the time I'm gonna have another div ID, and it's gonna be day. Div ID, sorry about that. Okay, div ID day, and here, don't know, I'm just gonna leave it empty like this. Next we will have a span, and this span is gonna say days. And wait a second, so we have this 1, 2, and I have to close one. So okay, so now we have 1, 2, one span. Okay, so this is good. Now I have to add, I'm gonna add 3 more, because I'm gonna have also the hours and minutes. So this is gonna be minute, and then here minutes and second, and here seconds. Okay, so I saved it, and now there's gonna be another button which is gonna say register now. So I'll have href, and here I'm gonna have just nothing, and I'm gonna close it, and I will say register now, like this, and then this div class here. Okay, now below this div, let's see what we've got for now here. So we have days, hours, minutes, seconds, which is fine. And now here I want to add another div class, which is gonna be the book. So I'm gonna add this book right now on the page. Sorry about that. So I'm gonna have a different div class, and this is gonna be img box. Alright, and then in this div I'm gonna have img source, and here I'm gonna have img and book.png. There's gonna be an alt tag which is gonna be book, and I'm just gonna close it. Okay, so everything is done in my index.html. Everything looks fine. Now I'm gonna go back just to take a look. This is the book here. Everything looks funky because I don't have any CSS. But what I want to do now is I want to create the JavaScript for the counter, so we can see these days and minutes, hours and seconds, you know, ticking. So in the script.js file, I'm gonna have a variable which is gonna be count date. So I'm gonna have var count date, and I'm gonna assign a new date object, and here I'm gonna say April 10, 2021, and I will say 12 o'clock, like this, and then I'll say get time. I'll need to use this function here. After that I'm gonna use ES6, so I'm gonna have a const new year, okay, no parameters. I'm gonna have a new variable which is gonna be now, and now I'm gonna grab the current date and time. So I'm gonna have new date object dot get time, like this, and then here I'll have a gap. So I'm gonna get I'll get a gap from the count date and from the current date. So I'm gonna have count date minus now. So in this way I'm getting the gap. Now here I'm gonna have 4 other variables: second, minute, hour and day. So basically get that, and then I will use a math variable to get the date, you know, the gap from between this and the current date, this date and the current date. So bear with me. I'm gonna have a variable which is gonna be second, and I'm gonna assign 1000 here, var minute Here I'm gonna have second multiplied by 60 because they're like 60 minutes in an hour. And then I'm gonna have var hour. Here I'm gonna assign a minute multiplied by 60, and var day is gonna be hour multiplied by 24 because 24 days. 24 day hour 24. Okay. And now below here I'm gonna have another variable which is gonna be d. D comes from day, so I'm gonna use math.floor, and here I'm gonna have gap divided by day, like this, and this is what I'm assigning to the d variable. And I will have another one which is gonna be h, and here I'm gonna have math.floor, and here I will have two parentheses. The one is going to be gap percent day in parentheses, and then I will divide all of this by hour. And I'm gonna have two more. One is gonna be for the minute, which is m here, and instead of day I'm gonna have hour, and instead of hour I'm gonna have minute. And then here is gonna be second, which is s math gap. This is gonna be minute, and this is gonna be second. There you go. And then after this I want to insert this stuff in the HTML tag, in the HTML, in the DOM. So to do that I'm gonna use document dot get element by ID, and here I'm gonna have the day, because if I'm looking back to my HTML file, there's a day ID and then hour, minute, and second. So I'm gonna have day dot inner HTML, and I will assign the d value, the value from the d variable. That's what I meant. Okay. And I'm gonna have three more, and this is gonna be hour, this is gonna be h, and then minute, and this is gonna be m, and second, this is gonna be s. And then after this I'm gonna use the set interval actually. I'm using ES6 syntax here, and here I'm gonna call the new year variable every 1000 milliseconds, which means every second. Okay, so if I save it now and go back to my index.html, nothing is gonna happen, because second, okay, I misspelled the second, that's why. You probably already saw it, guys. Second. Okay, let's go back, and here we go. Okay, so we have this time, everything works fine. Now what I can do here is I can close the script.js file. I'm gonna leave still the index.html is gonna be here, and I'm gonna start with the styling. So in the style CSS I'm gonna add some global CSS. So there's gonna be margin 0 and padding 0, and I'm gonna have box sizing. So box sizing border box, font family, I will say here just open sans, and let's see, maybe sans serif, like this. And then below here I'm gonna have the landing. So the next one is it's actually the background, but I'm gonna start with the landing. So I'm gonna have landing class here, and I'll have a max width of 1100 pixels, and then below there's gonna be a width, and width is gonna be 100%. Display table margin, it's gonna be 0 on top, bottom, and auto on the side, just so I will center it, and then position relative, like this. Okay, the next one is gonna be, so if I save it, go back now, Everything's gonna look like this. Still funky though. But if I go back here, I'm gonna add some, let me add that background class. So I'm gonna have bkgr, and here the first thing is gonna be display table, and the height I want to make it full screen, so I'm gonna have 100 VH, and I'm gonna have the background, and the background here is gonna be white color 1 2 3 4 5 6. There's gonna be a URL which is gonna be an image here, so I'm gonna have img, and it's gonna be plain.jpg, and it's gonna be no repeat, and I want to center the whole image. And then the background size here is going to be cover with 100%, position relative, background repeat, attachment, and that's it. Let's see what we've got now. Okay, so the background image works fine. We have all this content here. Now let's add some styling, some more styling. Now for the h1 tag, we have an h1 tag. I want to add it to the at the top here. So we'll have font size TEM, margin 0.67 EM and 0. So 0 on the sides, and then line height 1.3 EM. Okay, we have this here. We can do text transform uppercase. So this is uppercase here, like this. What we have here, we have a color T, so we'll have to kind of play around with that later on. Okay, so we have this background stuff in place. The next one is the subtitle, because we have a subtitle here. This one, a 4-week mastermind. So the subtitle is gonna have the following CSS. We will have dot subtitle. I'm just gonna copy it from here and just paste it here, just to make sure I'm not misspelling anything else though. Okay, subtitle. So there's gonna be display table, and the color, guess what color here is gonna be? White, of course. And we have a font size, and it's gonna be 25 pixel, and the font weight is gonna be bold, so bold. And text transform uppercase, and there's gonna be the font, and the font is gonna be italic. It's gonna be 170% divided by 150%, and it's gonna be Georgia here. Next one, times New Roman times sheriff, like this. Italic, remove and Victor. Okay, so it looks something like this. Yeah, it looks similar. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Looks good. Okay, and then we have the next one. What's next on line 3? So let me just copy it and paste it like this, just to make sure I'm not misspelling. Okay, so the first thing is gonna be color white, font style italic, font size it's going to be 20 pixel. And then what else? Display block, and I will have the same font here, so I'm just gonna copy the whole thing here, and I will paste it here. And it's not I just changed here, it's not 170 but it's 130. So if I put like this, 70 by 150, you know, it's the same thing. Okay, 130. If I save it and go back now, this is how it looks like. Okay, looks good to me. But you can change, you know, you can change the colors and put whatever you want there. Now there's gonna be the section. Next one is the section here. The section needs to have some parameters too. So I'll just say landing section, and the section is gonna get the position, relative, and display flex, because I'm gonna have that counter there. Justify content space in between, and align items center. What else? There's gonna be a min height 550 pixels, and padding is gonna be 0.80 pixel. There we go. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Okay, we added some stuff here. We see that this is a little bit centered. Okay, this line here, we will get into that in a little bit. But next thing is, we put this padding here. The next thing is the landing section content box. Here, the content box class. So I'm gonna copy it, and I'll do here. Basically, it's gonna be a landing section and content box, and in the content box we will have position relative and max width 600 pixels, and z index, this is not required, but you can just have it just in case you want to add stuff on top of it, if you have any background position absolute and stuff like that. And there's an h. Okay, we have here, and there's this h1, so we can add color to this stuff from here. So we'll actually go here where the h1 is, and we're just gonna add color white. Don't forget some of my columns here. Color white. Okay, cool. What else? Next is the p tag. The p tag is the text from here. Where is it? It's this one. Okay, so we gotta make it white, and we should add some font to that. So to do that, let's type in here landing section content box p and curly brackets. Okay, so it's gonna be basically the same thing. So I'm gonna copy the font from above, 120 by 150 Georgian, and let's add a color white. Yes, white. It's white. It's good. You can add some padding here, so you can. Let's actually add some padding. So we'll have padding top. Let's do 10 pixel and 0 on the sides. So it's gonna be 10 pixel on top and the bottom. So here we go. We added some space in between them. The next thing I want to do is the countdown. So the counter, this is the thing here. I want to make like these boxes white, and to do that I'm gonna do the following. So it's gonna be a landing, and then section, and then content box, and then countdown. You know what, guys, I am gonna copy it from here, because I was about to misspell it here. See, countdown and time, because here's the countdown and it's the time here. So the time is gonna be, we'll have a few more parameters here. Okay, the first one, display flex, justify content center, align items center, flex direction, it's gonna be column, background, it's gonna be white. Next, margin right is gonna be 20 pixels, and we have, let me get rid of that, we have font size 28 pixels, and then min width 110 pixels, and font width 700. Padding. The padding is gonna be 15 pixels, 5 pixels, and 10 pixels. Border radius is gonna be 4 pixels. And the color, so I want to make this gonna be color a bluish color, so it's gonna be 38.5 DAB. Okay, so if I save it and go back, this is how it looks like for now. Actually, here I missed the countdown, so I'm gonna add this class here just to add a few styling. This needs to be display flex. Display flex and margin, I'll do 20 pixels and 0. So if I go back now, here's how it looks like right now, but it's not pretty. We want to change that. So the time, okay, maybe this color is gonna go away, but let's see what's gonna happen next. Okay, next is the time span. Is the span from here, so I'm gonna do, I will copy the whole thing from here, paste it here, and I'm gonna have span, because span is in the title div. So basically here I'm gonna have just font size 15 pixels, font width 600, and color, so I'm gonna have a color here 312747. Save it, go back, and here we go. We changed the color of this one. We added some font size here just to change the font. So let's see what's next. The next is the button. We have this button here, so you see already the book, it's on the right side because we have that display flex already, and we have this button now. So let's add some styling to that button. So basically here I'm gonna have I will grab this stuff like this, because the button is in the content box. Here we go, this is the button, and the button is in the content box, so that's why landing section, content box. Now here in the content box, let's see what we have. There's gonna be a position relative, and here margin top, because I want to lower it a little bit. Margin top is gonna be 10 pixel, and this display, it's gonna be inline block. Well, I'm gonna have a background, so the background is gonna be blue, so I want to do it 38.5 DAB. Okay, color white. Font size, guess what font size I'm gonna use here? 20 pixels. You didn't guess it. Okay, letter spacing. Letter spacing is gonna be 2 pixels, and padding is gonna be 15 pixels and 35 pixels. So 15 on top, bottom, and 35 on the sides. Text decoration, text decoration none, don't want anything, and the border radius 40 pixel. Let's see our beauty now. Let's see our oh my gosh. You know why? Because I forgot to add a tag. So if I add a tag, go back. Now here's how it looks like. Register now button is ready, except our book is not ready. Our book is not moving the way it moves here. You see, boom, boom, boom. Okay, so here we have spacing. We don't have the spacing in the demo. Our current project looks better. Okay. The certified independent. Okay, we will make this smaller, and this line is going to be longer. Okay, let's go back to the style CSS, and here we will add some styling to the image, to our image. So we will have landing section, img box, and img tag. So let me make sure there's an img. Okay, there's an img box. Just making sure I'm not misspelling anything. So we have position, not inherit. It's gonna be a relative. and max width 500 pixels and width 100%. 100%, guys, it's 100%. And then margin top 20 pixels, and Z index, I don't know why I put this in here, but let's just make it 2. And yeah, I think that's it. So if I save it now, go back, it's a little smaller, and we see this line kind of got longer. So it's almost the same thing as in our demo, except it's not moving. So let's make it move. Let's make it move. And in order for us to make it move, we should use the keyframes. So we have add keyframes, right? And let's name it floating book. So here we have at 0% and at 100%. We want to do the following. We will have transform, and we will have S key W Y. So the Y lane, it's gonna go -7 degrees. Okay, and we will have translate, and the translate is gonna be 0 and -10 pixels. This is how high it's gonna go. -10 pixel goes up. So if I just save it like this and go here, let's just make fun of this animation a little bit. So if I'll have animation here, floating book, 5 seconds, and it's gonna easy in, out, and infinite. Nothing is gonna happen though. You know why? Because I forgot to add the 50% here. Okay, 50%, and it's gonna basically be the same thing, except here -7 degrees, it's gonna be +10. So yes, this is making it move, and it moves so smooth. But you can't change the 5 second here. You can put just a 1 second, and it's gonna basically jump, boom, down. Okay, I don't know if you guys want to make it mobile responsive, because this one, as for right now, it's mobile responsive. Look, goes polar, some kind of like something like this, but not our current page. Our current page is not mobile responsive, so let's make it mobile responsive. Okay, let's change this is bothering me. Let's do it 5 second. Okay, it looks better. Okay, let's make it mobile responsive. So what I want to do is let's go back to our CSS file, and below our keyframes we will have a medium. I will just actually copy, and I'm not gonna copy it, or I'm gonna copy it, and I will paste it like this. This is my I got it from my script. So no, but I'm gonna explain. Wait. I know you didn't type it in, but I'm gonna explain it. Oh, you can just okay. So first of all, on the 820 pixel screen, so max width, when the screen is 820 pixels and smaller, then we add to the landing section the padding, change the padding here. You can play around with this, but I don't know what kind of structure. Maybe you built a different page, but you can just play around with this. Add padding, display table, landing section, content box, max width 100%, because as for right now it is, how much is it? It is 600. So I make it 100, just make it full width. At 558, you know, I add this style to the time, just make those boxes smaller. Add the landing section content box, so the button, I make the font size smaller. Then also here, let's do this, boom, just make it pretty. Okay, so here at the 396 the time, so we make these boxes smaller from the countdown, and the span font size 12 pixels. So if I save it now and refresh the page, and if I make it smaller, here's what happens here. Boom. and this one got smaller. I mean, I don't. This is not the best way to make it mobile responsive, but this is the quickest way. So you can just yeah, use the same method if you would like to. So yeah, I think that's it, guys, for this page. You can add multiple sections. This is just one of the section. A landing page actually is a lot longer and bigger than this one, but I just made one section from my page. Let me see if I can show you that page, how it looks like. I just want to show you the website, but not. You already saw the website, so it doesn't really make sense now. But okay, so this is how it looks like, the live page, this landing page here, and then there's another section here, which is this, and then another section, and then there's this registration form. So yeah, this is I just got the first section from here and I publish it. I mean, I built it in this video. But alright, guys, actually there's gonna be a link in the description for the demo, so you can take a look at the demo to see how it works, you know, just live play around with it. And thank you very much for your attention. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.